call the member for Griffith.
Speaker, I rise this evening to speak about one of the most important infrastructure projects for the future of Brisbane, the Cross River Rail. Earlier this year, the Queensland Liberal National Party state government issued a request to the federal government. The request was simple: provide $715 million to ensure the construction of a Cross River Rail project in Brisbane. The 2018 Inner City Rail Capacity Study found the demand for train services during morning peak times will reach between 70 and 80,000 people by 2016. By 2026, modelling suggests that this will have increased to well over 100,000 people each and every day. Brisbane's urban rail network will come to a grinding halt as a result by 2016 unless changes are made. The Cross River Rail project will feature 4 new underground stations, including one at Woolloongabba, one at Bogger Road, both in my electorate of Griffith on Brisbane's south side. It also includes an underground station at Albert Street in the city, close to the university, Queensland University of Technology, the Brisbane Financial District on Eagle Street, and the Botanical Gardens. The Cross River Rail will ensure additional capacity of 17,000 people during peak periods. That's 17,000 people out of cars and onto trains. For anyone who spends their mornings and evenings sitting in traffic on Wynnum Road and on the Story Bridge or on the Captain Cook Bridge, you will know just how significant this project will be. It will also reduce parking problems around the Gabba on game night, and become a magnet for investment in new residential development in that precinct. The Bogger Road station will also help serve the Bogger Road Science and Technology precinct, and with great bus services straight across the Green Bridge, the University of Queensland. Also not far from the services provided by the PA, Princess Alexandra Hospital. So given the great advantages to local communities, to local business and university precincts, and to the overall state economy because of the positive employment impact of such a large-scale infrastructure project, we may well ask in this House this evening, what's the hold-up? The feasibility study and the detailed planning, well, it's done, thanks to $20 million from the federal government back in 2009 when I was Prime Minister. The preferred route, well, that's done as well. The environmental impact study, done as well. Done, ticked off by the Queensland Coordinator General. Funding, well, done as well. We've allocated $715 million to put the first shovel in the ground as the precise amount requested in writing by the Queensland Liberal National Party government. So what in fact, Speaker, is the hold-up? The hold-up is the Leader of the Opposition forced Premier Campbell Newman to backflip on the Queensland government's backing for the project because the Leader of the Opposition has refused funding to all urban rail projects nationwide. In other words, a Premier of Queensland was rolled by a federal opposition leader. Joh Bjelke-Petersen would roll in his grave at such an appalling capitulation. Joh could not believe it, that any Queensland Premier worth his salt would roll over to any federal leader, let alone a federal opposition leader. Campbell Newman State Liberal Nationals claim that $715 million for the Cross River Rail is not enough funding, yet the federal opposition says that $715 million is too much funding. So let's be clear about this. The Queensland Government knows how important this project is. They know there's no alternative. Pulling seats out of carriages to jam more people in is just crazy. Carriages are already too overcrowded. That's why the Queensland Government put this project forward as a key priority in its Infrastructure Australia submission. That's why the Queensland Transport Minister wrote to Infrastructure Minister Anthony Albanese in April of this year, outlining what the Queensland Government needed for the project to proceed. The Queensland Liberal National Party government stipulated 5 conditions. All 5 conditions were acceded to by the Australian Government, including the Queensland Government's request for $715 million, which Queensland would then match. And what was the Federal Minister's response to this submission from the Queensland Government? No problem, you've got it, let's get on with it, let's build it. Enter the Leader of the Opposition, the alternative Prime Minister of Australia. The Liberal National Party have turned their back on Brisbane's rail network. They have turned their back on the residents and small businesses who live on Brisbane's south side. And whereas the opposition leaders handpicked Liberal National Party candidate for Griffith on this critical issue for Southside residents, nowhere to be seen. Mr Glasson backs the opposition leaders' cancellation of the Cross River Rail project that benefits Brisbane's south side. In fact, he backs anything that Mr Abbott or Mr Campbell Newman choose to do.
Members' time
Queensland's south
has
side deserves better.
expired.